Back on Trojans Live, and remember, if you want to talk more football with my man JJ, with Coach Helton, you can always go to Monday Morning Quarterback. Next one is October 30. That's next week, I believe. JR will be there, the national champ. I always bring a player. It's the Galen Founders Room right next door, Galen Center. For more information, call 213-740-4167. But right now we're talking golf, and the head coach, Chris Zambri, in his 12th year in charge. And Coach, how's this year shaping up? Because we have sort of gotten to know, we were just talking about, you've had some household names, sort of a very consistent team over the last couple of years. You've been so close to that elusive national title. But how's this year's team shaping up as you sort of reload, rebuild, and figure all that out?
We played 3 events so far, and we haven't done all that well so far. But you know, in college golf, you're really looking for 5 to 6 guys who you know can play. Yeah. And you know, we have a team of 9, and obviously everybody can play, but the kind of golf that we're looking for are guys who can finish in the top 10 in a big tournament. And so right now it looks like we've got 4 that we can lean on, and we're looking to develop a few other guys just so that we're deep enough to have a chance.
You know, what's the key to building this program? Because I know different sports, you know, obviously there's different strategies on how to build it. You've done a great job of being consistent, and you know, part of that, of course, is building the program. What's the key to that consistency in the job that you've done?
It always starts with getting good players, for sure. We've kind of I've shifted my approach to recruiting. I used to try to recruit nationwide and worldwide, and I still do, don't get me wrong, but I really focus on this state, because if we can do great in this state recruiting, we can put up the best team we need to ever have it. There was a team back in 2012 from Cal that was just the best team I've ever seen. They won 11 times, and every kid was, other than one, every kid was from Southern Cal, and they weren't even, you know, blue chip recruits. They just put together an awesome team, and I know if we do great in this state, we'll be fine. But then again, if there's somebody interested out there from outside the state or the country, we'll take them.
You know, I mentioned how much national success you've had the last 3 years. You've been right there in that match play tournament. If people don't know, golf is a really exciting NCAA tournament. And it's a lot like college basketball. It just comes down, and it's a little bit of a coin flip out there. It's not always necessarily the best team that wins. It's the hot team. Is it frustrating for you how close you've been, or encouraging because you know that you could build a team to play at that level?
It's obviously frustrating that we haven't won. But I will say that, you know, they went to this format, I think 9 years ago or 8 years ago, and it's been an absolute home run for us. You know, the format was fun, but there was a lot of us who thought, geez, maybe this isn't spitting out the best team at the end of the deal. But now that they've put it on television, I think it's all worth it, because we have a cool product that's getting on TV. People, I can't tell you how many people come up and said, geez, that was really cool to watch, which is, you know, it's college golf. It's a little. I remember them talking about TV years ago and thinking, but in a match play format, it's pretty riveting.
Yep.
And how's USC's brand? You know, I mean, you've done a great job of winning, and of course that helps develop your brand. But how does USC's brand travel in golf circles? We know how it travels in other sports, but how does it travel in golf circles?
I think it's fairly strong. Certainly on the West Coast, it's strong. You know, part of the reason why we recruit the way we do is because there are some dividing lines in this country when it comes to recruiting. It's hard to get kids to come all the way across the country to play golf. But I think our brand is quite strong. We've put together a nice little run here. We want nothing more than to keep it going, though. And so, you know, our goal this year is obviously to get back to the national championship, and then obviously make it to match play, and then try to make a run. And you know, even though we're right now we're ranked between 30 and 40, which is clearly not where we want to be. But when I look at our team and I look at our players and I look at the guys that we're going to have in our lineup, I think we're going to have a chance at the end of the year.
Coaching is unique in golf for several reasons, but one of them is the game day. You just sort of have to pick one, right? I mean, how does that work? What's your strategy as you go out there and the guys are on 5 different holes, and you can't really sort of be a team coach on a game day, which is, you know, obviously if Clay Helton, we were like, oh, no, you can only talk to the secondary. It'd be a weird situation.
It's kind of odd. I remember, I mean, almost every day I would wake up on tournament day and look at my assistant and say, well, what's the deal today? What are we going to do? Who are we going to? In recent years, though, we've, so some of the ways we do it is we park on a par 3, right? You sit on a par 3, and it's the same yardage for everybody, and you can give some really good feedback from guy to guy. And sometimes that's critical when it's a really funky hole with some wind or elevation change. But what we've been doing in recent years is going with a guy. Each one of us is going with a guy, and we kind of it's not triage, but we do kind of see who wants us around.
Yeah.
Some of them don't want us around. Yeah, some of us are like, please,
right?
I never want to see you out there. But then others love us around, and so like last year, my assistant Justin Silverstein went with Sean Crocker all year, and I pretty much went with Rico all year, and we just felt like they were the two guys who most desired our presence. And so
well, Justin Suh is another guy that's playing outstanding golf. He was named the Pac-12 Golfer of the Month. I guess I first should ask who's following him, and then can you give us a little bit of background of how well his season has gone so far?
Yeah, so Justin wants to be on his own, which is fine. We let him be that way.
Working.
He's been amazing so far. We've played 3 events. Like I said, he's had a 9th, a 1st, and he shot 63 in the final round at Nike's event, hosted up at Pumpkin Ridge, and lost by a shot. He's just grown so much as a golfer. He was a very good junior golfer, came to USC, had a nice freshman year, but really, which is what we want, which is to go to the last tournament and play your best. Like, that's the whole point. Right. Play well at the national championship.
Right.
And this kid finished. He was leading through 2 rounds his freshman year at the NCAAs, and he's just a solid player. He does everything well, maybe more so than any player we've ever had as far as being able to hit a golf ball well and to putt well and to chip well. And most of all, he's probably the strongest, most mental skill we've ever had in a player. So we're looking forward to seeing how he does the rest of this year.
Well, it's all the way in April, but it sounds like Pac-12 championships, so fans can get out and support. They're in LA this year.
Yep, we're hosting the Pac-12 championship. No, we're hosting it at Rolling Hills Country Club.
Where's that?
Rolling Hills is in Palos Verdes.
Okay.
And it's an interesting story. Rolling Hills was a nice club, but kind of a smaller course and not really big enough to host a tournament the caliber of the Pac-12 championship. And they decided to do a complete redesign. The golf course opens within the next couple weeks. Maybe we're rolling dice a bit here, but we had a chance. Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
And a great opportunity for fans to come see it. And college golf, to me, is one of the more underrated college sports because you really do get to see the PGA stars in college. I mean, we've seen John Ram at ASU just a couple years ago. Now he's a star on the tour. I remember seeing Jordan Spieth at Texas. Now he's the biggest star in the world. So you can come out to that Pac-12 title. I guarantee you'll be seeing somebody that's going to win a lot of PGA titles someday, and hopefully many of them are wearing Cardinal and gold that day. Thank you to the coach. We're going to get JJ's scouting report next on Trojans Live.